Hey there, guys, gals, and non-migrant gals, and welcome. I flubbed that real hard. Oh, wow. Let's try it again. Take one, or take two. Hey there, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, and welcome to Casual Friday. My name is Gormizer. Joining me over here on a different couch. I'm all alone on my couch.
Yep.
We got Trelly. We got Lermy, who at this point you're just a mainstay. I'm not gonna I guess you're still a special guest, but
a returning guest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, how long? Oh, and J-Max back there. I should say his name too. How long?
That's all right. I don't mind.
It's kind of like the janitor in the first season of Scrubs, who's the actor's name is escaping me, but like for a long time he was like a guest star. He was not actually listed as the cast,
Right?
Because he was only supposed to show up for like little bits and segments. But then he became a regular, so they just had to add him to the list, and like it changed like how much he was getting paid for and everything like that. So.
Hey.
I don't know if that part's gonna happen, but
I mean, listen.
when we roll credits, it'll of like, and special guest Lermy, it'll say starring Lermy.
I just love coming. It's a lot of fun, you know. I love playing games. I love talking about SMITE. I love discussing different varieties of SMITE topics, watching clips, all of that good stuff. And that's what Casual Friday's all about.
And you came to the right place, because that's all we do here. And in this case, we're
about
going to
SMITE.
do, I would assume, the majority of those things in a second.
But in a row.
Yeah.
So normally we start off the show with This Week in SMITE, and we will be doing some This Week in SMITE, but we wanted to play a little bit of other stuff along with that. You might have heard of the website SMITE, smiteL.net. Now, we used to do SMITEs here, actually, where we got all the cool clues. It was like,
we
Wordle,
spelled
but
it
SMITE
differently.
version.
Yeah.
But there's an actual official SMITE website. It's
Smiteable.
SMITEDLE.net.
Smiteable.
SMITEDLE.net. So shout out to Andrus Borbus, who has created the website and has a few different games that you can actually play. So it's more than just your traditional, SMITE that we did. They got a few things. So
you know how like in MMOs you have dailies, like people log in, they do their grind.
For some.
I have a lot of like dull games that are on my dailies, and I need to add this one.
This one was on mine for stream. I would do it on stream to start off.
Oh, that's so fun.
But I haven't done it today, so we're all good. I'll go in fresh.
Yeah.
There was one, I was browsing like the free Twitch games that you get like through Twitch Prime and whatnot, but
Words
then they
with
also
Twitch is
had
a good
like,
one. That's good
they had a
chat
separate one
interaction.
which was like the Words with Twitch, but then they had like a bunch of subcategories for it, where one was like a double cross combo where you had to like get like a 5-5-5-5. It was wild, like how it was. It was essentially a crosswords plus SMITE combo, or a Wordle combo. Is wild.
Nice.
But that's not what we're doing. We're playing SMITEable.
Click that classic, baby.
We're going to start with the old classic. Guess a god and see what you
Yeah.
get
What
right.
are the ones that you guys like to start
yeah.
with? Me
Yeah,
personally,
yeah, yeah,
I'm a
yeah.
Neath starter.
A
Okay.
neat starter.
Neat starter.
I usually
Yeah,
like
I
to
guess.
start.
Like that's.
I usually like to start in either like the Greek or the Roman pantheon.
Reach
just because
forward,
there's a
pull a
ton of
god
them.
out of the hat, and that's who we start with.
Honestly, wait, hold on. Yeah, let's grab the hat. Let's go with the all important hat of wisdom.
We haven't used
What
the
if we
hat in a
get,
while because y'all weren't watching the draw, whatever that we called it.
All right.
Divine Doodles. You weren't watching it on YouTube.
right, what's our
So
first
we haven't
god?
used the hat in a while.
Give me a Persephone, please.
Oh, okay, that's not a bad one.
Persephone.
Oh, okay.
Not a
Shelly, that
female,
was an
not a
awful
mage,
guess.
Well, no,
not a-
Guardian.
not
Terrible.
arranged, but it's a male guardian.
Okay, male guardian. That's what we have, right?
Ares is
Ra-
my starter.
It's not Aries.
A
because it's
melee
not
guardian.
What's up?
A melee guardian. Not ranged.
Oh, that's right, not Greek. Okay.
I would say our best bet
What
is
about
to do
Bacchus?
like.
Bacchus is Roman,
Male
isn't he?
I feel like
Melee
Egyptian is the
guardian.
second
Xing
biggest. Is Egyptian the second biggest, or is it something else?
It's
it's
Xing
like-
Chen. I got it. Why are you guys still guessing?
We'll do Xing Chen for Trella here. We'll see where it lands.
If you get it,
Oh my
God.
lord.
Oh.
A little
We're so
after.
close.
she-
Okay,
It's
so
not
we got-
Chinese.
We got male guardian.
Oh,
we
they
knew that
don't
part
play
at least.
solo.
But they don't play solo. I'm thinking Bacchus is where my mind goes, because
I'm okay with that.
I'm gonna bring
yeah.
up an issue here.
Oh wait,
Huh?
what it says he's
Oh,
I've
but
seen-
it isn't
I've-
high crowd control, which
Oh.
says
and
a
he's
lot
and
of
his
CC.
releases
And
is
yeah, the
earlier.
release-
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about the release date.
No. It's after. It's after
after.
Bacchus and
More-
before Persephone.
Right, more recent.
After Shing yes.
Melee
what was that?
guardians.
Male guardian.
Kepri.
Was Kepri after?
I think I
I thought Kepri was before.
I think Kepri was right.
I thought he
before
was
Shang-
2016.
No, Kepri might have been after. You know what?
Find out. I want to say he was
If I could
2016.
spell Kepri correctly.
Are there
spell my
any
own.
other? What were the guardians?
It also would tell us Egyptian.
Kumbhakarna was before.
Just click that Kepri for me.
Let's do Kepri. You know what?
Sure.
Kepri. Click that magical hug button. Oh, he was.
Oh,
He was
so 2015, so he was.
Okay.
but it's not Egyptian.
I think it might be Fafnir.
So it's going to be in the high defense because it's not high crowd control. We got that.
Oh yeah, wait. I will say we know it's not. Fafnir ain't got high crowd control.
Yeah, he's got hammer. All right, let's do Fafnir as Lorm goes for the call, and we got it.
Nailed it.
Oh, let's go.
Little
Well
Fafnir
done.
game for us. All right, so
Yo,
Not
wait!
at
If
all.
we make this broadcast long enough, next God in 5 hours, like
I know.
we could very easily sandwich the day with.
You
just
say easily.
Smite.
That's a long broadcast.
that is my clock
Well,
out
that's-
time.
Oh yeah, that gets us to 6. Maybe
That's my clock out time.
look. If this was an esports day, we'd hit 6 pretty easy. We could we could sandwich it.
All right, so we'll jump into the next mini game, which is
Put up 2 best of 3s. We'll be there.
All right. Oh, it's just
okay.
an icon.
Turned? Oh, this is Atlas one,
So
right?
it's rotated and it's black and white, obviously.
Yeah, but that looks like the astrolabe. That looks like Atlas.
I'm pretty sure that's Atlas one.
Yeah, just
I could
type
be
Atlas.
crazy. I'm
So
also
that-
looking at this from the side.
Look at type in Atlas.
Oh, good. Unburden, I think is the
Well,
name.
no,
No,
you don't
it's
need the
God.
name.
Oh, you don't?
It's just the
the
God.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's
Yeah,
go.
see?
Very nice.
Oh, that was it? I thought there'd be
Yeah,
more.
nope.
Yeah.
There'd be
Free
like 5.
smoke.
All right, skin.
Oh, Hebo.
That's Hebo.
Yeah.
Well, it's infinity.
Yeah, that's
wave
Infinity
Hebo.
Wave Hebo.
You don't have to type that, but I always like trying to guess the skin.
That
Well,
this was
sometimes I don't know if this one has it, but some of them will be like, "Oh, do you know the name?" Afterward.
Oh well, yeah, Infinity Wave Hebo.
Yeah.
We
This
do
one
know
doesn't.
that,
as
that's
I've learned.
that's the skin I used for
Yeah.
the most on Hebo. Like when I
You
played
gotta
Hebo, I
be
played almost
using
exclusively.
Hebrew.
I didn't have Hebrew.
Oh
I
my!
I had
Lord.
Infinity Wave though.
First thing I spent money on in Smite was Hebrew, and it has been the only skin I used for that god for 12
That or, Sydney
years. Well, no,
Shredder?
I think I bought it in
Shredder's a good
2013.
I like switching up the shredder every once in a while.
I like to play that one against Ro. It's
Now we
very
go
funny.
to item. Is this
Oh, that's
Eldritch
Bewitched.
Dagger?
Bewitched
Or
Dagger.
Bewitched, yeah.
yeah, that's the red one.
Bewitched.
Bewitched Dagger.
When all 4 of us know a whole lot about Smite, it's like
All right.
it's so hard to get it in before
did
somebody
it.
else can say it.
Smite is done for the day.
Not bad. Now,
Easy
Nice little
peasy.
easy
now
peasy
speed
for it.
run that and try and beat our time, but you can't know the information. So if you already saw this, too late. That doesn't
Yeah.
count. Hopefully you did it beforehand.
All right, so that's our Smite-it-all. That took a good about 5 minutes or so.
Nice
So-
warm up to our.
All right,
I
now
love it.
let's go do previous days and every day of Smite-it-all we missed.
Every-
all of time. But yeah, shout out to the SMITEITALL.net website again. Andrus Borbas. You can support them on Ko-fi if you want to. They've also got other stuff going on. So yeah, check them out. But now we move over to this week in our Smite. So
Smite.
if y'all haven't been tuned into the Smite universe for the last couple of weeks, we had a alpha weekend for Smite 2 last week.
A fourth one.
So that means that most likely we're probably going to see some Smite 2 content popping up on here. And this is a spoiler. We might be having some Smite 2 stuff a little bit later in the show as well. So
What?
tune in and stay tuned for that. So first one was...
It's in the tweet. We're doing Smite 2 stuff later too.
So first one actually talks about the portraits for Smite 1 compared to Smite 2. And I don't have 100% confirmation, but I'm pretty sure that this is some placeholder stuff. So
I can give you confirmation that
Oh?
it's an alpha.
it is also an alpha.
So what I will say about this is that we definitely heard a lot of this feedback, and what those portraits are they are renders that are then taken by our 2D art team and then painted over. So they are, the art that's in for right now. That doesn't mean that's going to be the art that's going to stay forever, but we are definitely listening to all of the feedback that you guys have given on the 2D art going in and how those look. So there might be adjustments in the future. It'll depend on what we're looking at, but yeah.
Yeah, and it's the early stages still of alpha,
Right.
where a lot of the times in this portion, things like card arts or icons, avatars, things like that are not always going to be final. There's some stuff that is kind of put in there because hey, we don't want to put our funny little angry face in that spot there kind of situation. So you
Dude,
might get some temporary stuff.
I
but
love
it
that
is,
angry face.
Yeah,
But it is.
The other
you
day
seen
you
the
loaded up
versions
Dev
of them?
and there were like 5 and they had different colors in their
Yeah.
background too, and I was like, we're getting creative with this thing.
Yeah, I think they had to add some color because when you load in, it's just 5 angry faces. You're like, okay, so which one is this supposed to be?
Yeah, when
there
you-
was
when
one that was like
playtest
blue
multiple-
and purple and orange, and
Yeah,
I think there
there's
was
a
a red
green
one
one.
and a green one. Yeah.
Yeah, when you playtest multiple of the gods and they all have angry faces, you just don't know who's ganking where. It's very confusing from
I
experience.
took damage from angry face 1.
Well, they'll have the name in it, thankfully. But yeah, the picture, if you're looking at the minimap, looking at the scoreboard, very hard to tell in testing environments.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why there's different colored angry faces. So if you see those, that's why they're there. But also, I hope you don't see them because that means we didn't pull anything that's temp out. But, sometimes that happens.
Really funny if you saw them. It'd be very funny. It is honestly one of the most iconic pieces of imagery that we have.
It's very funny.
That you guys don't really get to see because by the time you actually get to see it, it's already got at least temporary artwork to some extent in there.
Sometimes it's shown up in PTS.
Oh, that's true. PTS might
Really
have
fix
one.
it.
And I think that's how we...
Yeah.
That's how it got known that got used because I can't remember what got it. Everyone's like, "What is this?" It's just this little
Who's that guy?
scribbly.
I remember being there for
scrunchy little
Xing Chen
goblin
in
guy.
PTS, back in 2015.
Oh, yeah.
That was the first time I think I recall seeing that face.
I wonder if that's kind of when it started with Xing Chen. Because it does feel like it would match his vibe as like as a little
it's
angry.
an angry, screaming face. Yeah, that's Xing Chen.
Yeah, so just know that we're listening to feedback about the artwork in general, whether it be for the icons, the card arts and whatnot. We are seeing the feedback and we are making some plans and doing some work towards those.
Yeah.
But that's all that we can tell you for now.
I've seen this next meme on 12 different subreddits.
Oh, don't worry.
And I love the title of this.
We're going to see a few of these
Oh,
ones.
the
I've already gone
filling
through.
this one out?
Yeah,
So
exactly.
this is a community voted one, whether it be I didn't see
You're
if it
gonna
was
see
like
this
a
one at least
poll or if it was like
7
a
more times.
form. Since 90% of comments have already chosen Loki as the made to be hated, I'm not going to waste time and just go to the hot one.
Who do you guys
So-
think the hot one's gonna be?
I'm surprised that.
I won't.
My
an-
opinion's different.
I won't answer because I've already seen the answer.
Okay, wait. Logically, right? Think about it. Mythologically, lore-wise, if Aphrodite isn't put there, we are all going.
I feel like
it is
they're
going
gonna-
to be
okay, but
hell.
listen.
She's
We have
going to
to-
make the world a
We
living
have to
hell
get
for
into the
everybody.
Reddit mentality, right? I think it's going to be like Morgan Le Fay's
Ishtar's
going to
be up there. Everybody's
Ishtar's
been
gotta be
calling
up there.
Ishtar a mommy since she came out, bro.
But here's the
they're
thing.
going to
Where's the male representation here?
Achilles.
Until-
Cullen.
until that Hercules
guys-
skin gets the bulge like Twitter wants. He's not showing up under the hot one. Okay.
It's not.
You guys aren't reading the question, okay? The hot one is only one god,
Agni.
and it's Soul.
Oh,
I mean, that is
Obviously
true.
so.
Soul would be
Charlie's
smartest.
thinking now.
She is
see.
just the hot one.
That is true. All right,
But
so
Agni.
so far voted, we have the fan favorite is Neith, the most hated, or the made to be hated, I guess is the way to say it, is Loki. So now this one's calling for who's going to be the hot one. Will we see the answer to that? Maybe. Are they still voting on other things? Also maybe. Well,
Open
let's
the
see as we
comments.
continue.
Oh, are we?
Oh yeah, let's actually see.
Let's see
What's
what
the
their
top
comment.
voted comment?
Here, first, we'll give a little upvote,
Yeah,
a little
yeah.
updoot there.
So,
Soul.
That's
more likes than the
literally
post.
too hot for you.
Wow. Wish
I guess
Kumbo would
that's
win in this spot, but Soul is literally the hottest. Kind of sad.
Literal sun, no contest.
Meets biggest fan, the Jean Kui skin. That's a funny answer.
Yeah, that would be a good
How
one.
is no one saying Pele? Okay, Pele's a good shout.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Goomba, Aphrodite,
God.
Soul for the funny, but also true. But Afro could take it easily. Persephone's my choice. The Bob Ross Jean Kui, Cthulhu. He's got the cheeks
You guys
and
are
the
into
T5.
Wait,
some weird
Hold
stuff.
on, the
Hold on.
T5 cheeks on Cthulhu though.
Look at the face they used with the tentacles. I don't like that at all.
Isn't that the Lenny face? And that one that was
Oh, I
called?
don't like that.
don't
My
like that.
favorite
I don't like
thing
that.
about
Cthulhu is the only normal person. Morgan Le Fay will die on this hill. Good answer.
Yeah, I knew that would be
Soul,
there.
I didn't
Soul,
mind
Soul.
the answer. I just didn't like the response.
Bacchus.
Goat.
Good one.
Yes.
Nuwa, also good. Afro. Someone said Bunny Nuwa.
Just the picture of mine.
That is peak male performance right there.
Charlie
Just
would
gonna
know.
say it.
Yep, you better believe it.
Soul, Afro,
The rest of my
Pele.
life
That's the
I'll
first
know.
Dodgy we've seen. Yeah, based off what I'm seeing, I'm thinking Soul is looking
Charlie,
like the winner here.
I always forget that exists
I know.
because I only ever see you in long pants.
Yep.
If
I see it
this
every
here is
single
any
day.
indicator, I'm thinking Soul's probably
It's
winning
probably
this.
gotta
One.
be
Winning this
Soul.
poll.
Yep.
All right. I gave one. I'll do it again. Is there any chance that Smite 2 can turn away from the LOL gameplay, be more like Smite? So this person was talking about how they feel that kind of some of the mechanics in gameplay feels a little bit more towards League and Dota style, which there is some inspiration that kind of gets pulled from those ones. But just from, so they said, it's got better graphics, a newer engine for new guys to do stuff, new engine
No,
for
okay,
a
the
better
top
map.
part is what they wanted, right? That's
What
what
they-
they.
Well, what excited them? And I think
Okay.
New graphics, new engine.
to do
New engine,
things,
new
do
engine
crazier
part
stuff.
2. They literally said new engine.
Basically, new engine for new gods to be added in faster and with wilder stuff to be thrown in, which I think we're starting to slowly accomplish that. Better map, which is still being worked on as well.
Aggro, I can't remember what it was. It was something with Zeus, like super early on, that he was just like, yeah, just be like really cool. Like, he was talking to Pun. He's like, it'd be really cool, like if I had an indicator for this thing.
Oh, that was me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was me.
That was
I can't
you.
say what it was for, but yeah, it was me.
I don't. There's two different things because I think one was like something to do with like his charges.
Yeah. So
okay, so that was you.
Yeah, I was like, I wonder how this works, and I go in there and I'm like, oh.
And like,
oh, that's really difficult.
Well, like really, but then like because the Pon has been doing it for the longest.
Yeah, Pon's
and so he's gotten real good at doing stuff in it.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, you just like do this, and then it was done, and it was like. What?
No, that literally
in
happened
theory,
to me.
that's the top end. Is like in 5 minutes, Pon can do it. So in 5 minutes,
So,
yeah, Pon was explaining something to me, and I'm like, how do I do this in this specific way with these restrictions? And he's like, I got you. And then 10 minutes later, it's done, and I'm like, I spent 4 hours asking ChatGPT, the internet, anybody that would help me to try and figure this out, and Pon just did it, and I'm like, all right, man.
On some
I
real
guess.
database.
yeah. But now you know, and now next time, 10 minutes.
so then they go on and they
Army's
talk
going
about
crazy.
some of their gripes, which we've seen some of these similar complaints kind of pop around. You know, the new item store and whatnot, which is actually a lot simpler when you do what this first comment was talking about, which is just find the tier 3 you want to build and just double click and it'll
Yeah.
start building towards
Yeah.
it. No
I
need
think-
to go through all the
think-
miscellaneous. Oh, I think I need like 3 of these and then 2 of those and build into
Like
this.
the it's complicated is more it's different. Like it's not
It's also not even
inherently
that.
more complicated as much as it is that it's not. You're not building the thing you just built for 12 years.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thing to talk about, but I also think that the crafting component people find a little bit more difficult than it actually is because of the way that it's laid out.
Right.
Yeah.
We've taken a lot of feedback on that where we're trying to give it a little bit more organization so you can better sort the items, better have them presented to you, more easily accessible to things that you want to get to right away instead of having to scroll and all of that stuff. So we're doing our best to reorganize things.
And just so we're clear, in Smite 1, I still get the most common comment or question that I get is, what's a good build for blank? How do I build blank?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it is not as if builds are not an ever-changing thing as is. On top of learning a new system,
Yeah.
I can see how it's a little bit
Yeah.
complicated. But once you realize, like, once you know the item you want to build and you can just click on it and it builds them for you, it's
Yeah.
simple as
I only have one gripe with the item store, and I think this is something, and that is just that we used a lot of icons for items
From
that
Smite.
already have names,
yeah.
and changed the name.
Yes. Okay, I will say.
And so when I look
what
at
will
some,
say,
my brain like freezes.
anything. So I guess it's kind of a spoiler, but I feel like this is fair to talk about. Is that we understand that feedback and we've seen it a lot. So if there's anything that has a similar effect to Smite 1, similar visual to Smite 1, something like that, we are planning to readdress those and change the names to either be reminiscent of the thing that you're looking for. Like if it was Hydra's Lament, like maybe it's Hydra's pointy thing. I don't know. It could be
Hydra is way better
it could be
than the tier
whatever.
2 version of this fort.
Hydra's trident.
So the
or
thing
something.
that you would normally search for is still going to come up when you're looking for that particular
Yeah.
item. But again, we've heard that feedback and we want to make sure that you are having that same level of connection if it is an item that is similar in any way to something that exists in Smite 1.
my favorite Easter egg in the Smite 1 shop, nothing to do with what we're talking about, just makes me happy, or it used to make me happy, was when you would search boots.
And they would be
It would
there.
be tier 1 boots locked, and it would say the item you're looking for no longer exists. You sense a power that has since faded, or something.
and then it would
like
cost
that.
like $9,999 in gold or something.
you couldn't buy it. And it was just the tier 1 boot, because I would always search boots or shoes, like depending on if I was Fizz or Mage, and it would just be sitting there, and it'd be like, you sense a power that has since faded.
Good stuff.
That was such a long time ago. It wasn't even that long ago, but it feels like forever ago.
All right, we cracked point 1. What's point 2?
Physical and intelligence attacks that make each ability autos react different to items.
All right, hold
So
on.
the-
Pause. I'm
the
going to go
split.
into this.
Okay.
I'm going to use Neath as an example. In
Right on.
current Smite, you could build a Neath build that focuses on your auto attacks and a Neath build that focuses on your ability damage.
True.
And in Smite 2, you can build a build that focuses on her auto attacks and focuses on her.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of get the concept, but I feel, and like, I can see it with, like, I know, like, some of the gods have, hey, this one's physical, this one's intelligence, and so it's like, do I want this to hit harder? Do I want this to be a little better? And you have to maybe think about it a little more. But like in reality, you've already been making builds that did stuff different to the god.
Yeah.
This is just a more versatile. I think it feels
the biggest
more
difference
like a
is
better
that
playing
being
ground.
physical
Sandbox, that's
power-based basic attacks versus strength-based basic attacks. For the majority of it, there is some int scaling on it, but if you are building int, your basics are doing less. So that is one piece of feedback that we've heard a lot is, I want to build ability Neath, but then my basic attacks don't do anything.
Yeah.
Or I want to build strength soul, but then my abilities don't do anything. So that's things that we are working to address and work through right now.
Yeah. It's a very early testing cycle for stuff like this, with only like 20 or less gods available out there. It's a lot of testing grounds to figure out, what kind of scaling works best for this. If we tune one scaling this direction, how does it affect, the build curve or path of a god? The easiest way to kind of think is, if you want to just play a god like they did in Smite 1, you could probably just build them similar to what you did in Smite 1. If you want your On Her to be doing a bajillion auto attack damage, you could just build some power, some attack speed, and get a little bit of crit in there, and not a whole lot is going to change. It's the extra level of kind of reading that goes into it to see which ability scales with what is probably one of the higher levels of complexity that comes with it. Is this a strength scale? Is this an intelligence scale? And it's going to be a curve, and it's something that's still actively also being worked on behind the scenes to kind of make it easier to be able to read for the players and be easier to comprehend, while also making it a little bit more cohesive for the individual gods.
I think the one thing that I also do want to kind of loop into this is talking about penetration, because there is still physical and magical penetration in Smite 2. And you're going, well, I've got strength and int. What does that mean? Well, you still have abilities that do either physical or magical damage. They just have no relation at all to strength or int. But if a god has a mixed damage type, if their basics are physical and their abilities are magical, then I want both types of pen, which means I have to get 2 items. And that does not feel very good that I have to force both
Build
of those
even
items
more,
into my build. So that's something else that we're looking at adjusting. I'm not going to say how, because we're still in the testing period of what that might look like, but we are
We're
looking
still
at
figuring that out. But when we know, you'll know.
Yes.
You'll be the
you'll
first
know
one
soon
to
enough.
tell.
You'll know soon enough.
Next one is talking about the invisibility grass being everywhere.
Let's just get good. You can word that.
That's also just a feels thing, and definitely something that we've been getting a lot
If
of
you're going to
feedback
complain
on
about that,
as
put
well.
in what's is it Helm of Darkness? What is it?
Helm of Darkness is very fun.
Complain about that too. Don't choose one or the other. Whole put it all in.
I think there is some validity to kind of talking about
Be upset about all invisibility,
being in
not
a lot
just
of
one
spots.
invisibility.
And it's definitely feedback that we've been getting from a lot of players, whether it be our in-house, whether it be our ambassadors and other people.
What are the odds that this was one of the guys that we were playing against and we were like hiding?
Yeah, they're
Oh, no.
So I'm not going to mention anything.
In
but
that case, you're totally right.
I was
I'm
just
sorry.
invaded by a certain Smite dev. And this game is making me
Yeah, it was just like I was walking through the jungle and then a 5-stack jumped out at me at level 1.
You have awarded level 1.
Yeah.
I'm not. That was me being facetious, by the way.
And the last point is kind of just talking about the game feeling a little bit slower and maybe not as impactful. Those are all changes that are still being actively worked on
I
and
also
whatnot.
think,
Talk about TTS and TTK, not TTS, TTK.
I wouldn't
time
be
to
surprised. Like, there's just because like right now, there's so much on the Smite like the season 11 map to do that like sometimes I have trouble getting things done because I have so many options. Like I want to clear my
Rice
wave.
grass.
Oh, I just cleared the wave. Now this buff is up. Okay, I go and got that buff. Oh, now my waves are meeting again. Oh, now my buff's up. Oh, now that buff's up. Oh, wait, now we're going for a gold. I've spent time
You
where
just go
I
on a
will
little
not go back until
journey.
I have like 4,000 gold, and it's only because I'm like, guys, I have to get back. And so I think going from like that
Go,
from
go,
over
go,
like
yeah.
almost overstimulation to hey, now you're playing a MOBA again, like just regular. You've got the gold fury and there's buffs to do, but like the timers are a little different,
It's a
things
lot
like that.
more slow paced, but not in like a bad way.
Yeah.
But I also think that this person's referencing
It's like
just,
watching like a
general
15-minute
feels.
YouTube video versus watching a TikTok.
I think it just feels slower.
You're watching content no matter what.
I think it just feels slower because you don't have 10 people that know what they're doing on each team.
Yeah, that's also
also a
true.
point.
Every
Our games have only ever been 10 minutes. I don't know what you're talking about.
the majority of alpha games that I have seen, 2 people are completely lost, and that's fine. This is so early access. Like, you're expected to not know exactly what's going on. But if you have 10 people that know exactly where they're supposed to be and what they're supposed to do, the game is going to flow a lot easier as well.
I mean, we were having games in our tournament that were going really quickly.
Yeah.
You know, there's also a big difference when you have a full lobby that has, you know, all 10 players knowing what's going on versus having a lobby with like 2 or 3 people that know what's going on.
Yep.
And then also even just having one full team and maybe like 1 or 2 on another. It really does change up the pacing. And it's a lot of just learning how the map is, learning what changes have kind of popped around and kind of where to put the priority on the map. Because I will say, at least from games I've seen, not as many teams and players go for the objectives like the Gold Furies, the Fire Giants. Those are kind of like the, hey, if we get a chance to go to it, maybe we'll go that way. But like when we're sitting in playtest, we were watching tournament, there was heavy priority put towards those objectives because they're really strong, especially if you get to Ancient Fury phase. That's when the game really starts to kind of speed up because it says, hey, they can't really defend under here anymore. Why don't we just go?
You need to ask the real questions.
Gotta go.
Which I guess was kind of included at the beginning of that, but like, when are we going to get a God where you need like an MMO mouse to actually like to be able to play all of it?
Gotta
Like,
be so.
like you
Where
have so many
it's so
Like,
complicated that you have so much stuff you have
I
to
know
do.
a person. I know a person
hold on,
that can
like,
help you with that.
Imagine Merlin, but instead of a stance switch, all of those abilities are
they're
just
all just
active to
different
you at
buttons.
once.
Yeah.
Like they all do very small
Well, because
damage.
then you're also going to
comparatively.
need buttons for all your active items.
Oh, that's gonna be so fun.
Yeah,
I love the 6 active
I think
build.
if I remember correctly, Aurora played on like most of what he did on Smite was on an MMO mouse, like 90% of what he
wasn't
did.
that also like Shing also played on
Shing played on his numpad.
Oh, okay.
Shing was weird. Shing played on the numpad.
Shing does
Because did the
Shing
movement
things.
keys as 8, 4, 6, and 2.
Posh said Gore hates controller
And then
players.
abilities were 1, 3, 7, 9.
Oh,
0 or 5?
Oh, buddy.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
What?
no.
All right, I'm already disliking that, and I want to move on from that one. So, we saw the
Shing had an interesting control scheme.
We saw the second part of the poll already, so it was voted as Neith's fan favorite. They're asking
makes
who's most
sense.
hated. We already know the answer. It's Loki. People don't like Loki.
Now, wait a minute. Hold on. Can you do me a favor? Will you is that the same person that posted both of
Yes,
them?
I believe so. Yeah.
Oh.
So they're keeping the trend going for
Okay,
the
wait a
Reddit.
minute. In the one post up above,
Yeah.
they said 90% of the comments have already chosen Loki. Not going to waste time. So I thought they were saying like in the very first post, like they put it up with it blank, and so many people were saying like Neith for the first, and then also adding in that Loki needed to be the made to be hated, and so they were like, I'm just going to skip that.
Yeah.
But now I see they just did it real quick.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, we should fill it out is what we were.
Oh, okay.
So we should fill this out. Okay, so fan favorite. Do we agree that Neith is fan favorite?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think that's
yeah.
I
fair.
think safe.
I think we've got the top 3.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, wait. What are we agreeing on the third one? Are we going with
I'm
Soul on
locking
this
in with
one?
Soul.
It's got to be Soul.
All right, Soul I
Yeah.
think's a good one. The only normal person.
Huh.
Who's the
Who
only
in Smite is literally just like a dude.
Achilles is kind of just a dude.
Mulan.
Mulan is just a dude.
Actually, Mulan
Wait,
might be the answer.
Is this is the character? This is not like from a player point of view anymore.
I think this is the character.
Right, because like the fan favorite, I'm thinking of like of a player's POV. The made to be hated, like players hate it. The hot one,
Could be anything, really.
yeah. Then the normal person. I'm like, if I think of a normal dude coming home from work and hopping on, I might think of a little differently than just like some guy on the
No,
back.
I'm thinking this is just referring to the gods themselves.
Yeah.
Of the gods,
What god's just like a
what's
dude?
The, what's the
Alright.
normal person? I think Mulan's a good shout.
Let me think for a second.
I was gonna say Chiron, but the only reason I was gonna say Chiron is if you ignore that he's a centaur.
If you ignore the
If you ignore the fact that half of
He's
60%
just
of
a
his
guy.
body.
He's just
like
a guy.
if you look at Bacchus, if you ignore the fact that he's a literal god, he just drinks and eats. I drink and eat.
He's just like me, for real, for real.
I'm thinking, man.
man.
Chiron
know what?
is like the emphasis of just like
I'm
just a guy
from,
who likes to
from
play
now
other
on,
guys.
whenever I like
maybe?
overindulge.
I mean, Mercury gets confused as a minion. Maybe he's the normal person.
But he also can dash across.
Robin's
Yeah, that's
just this
fair.
dude throwing
Entire-
hands.
Merc is just really fast.
Merc is just like
That's
your.
it.
Merc is your average dude scaled up to
Okay,
be
but
god size.
Mulan doesn't have any of that. She's just really good at using weapons.
Just literally, she's just good at weapons.
All right, I think I'm locking in Mulan for only normal person.
All right, I'll get Mulan.
Everybody else is a god. She's a legend.
All right, the next one is what's your name again?
It's got to be Kumba.
I think that's forgotten. I think Kumba is a good shout there. I
Yeah.
think Kumba is one of the more forgotten gods of Smite.
I
would say Kumba or Bakasura.
I was trying to think of somebody
who's
who
someone
like,
that you'd never see anyone with like a million stars on? Like they never have a main.
Kumba. Kumba is like
there
you're
are
either like a
three
multi-star
really devoted
or like
Kumba players out there that have 1,000 stars on him to really balance it out. But outside of those three people,
Oh, what about Guan Yu?
What about what's his
Cool.
name?
People know Guan Yu.
What is his name?
Guan Cena. I've seen that guy.
Guancina.
Yeah, that guy goes. Oh, and Guandolf. I've seen Guandolf a lot. I know a lot of Guan mains.
I think people also know of Guan Yu as well when they go into
Scotty.
Scotty recently has her come up. Ever
Yeah,
since the buff,
Scott.
she's been
If
back.
this were like 6 months ago, I think Scotty is like a perfect answer for that.
I'm gonna say
Apollo.
Man.
Apollo also could have
The fall
almost
of
been just a
Apollo.
guy.
Yeah, he just
Apollo.
sings good.
Wait, hold on. Posh, do you have this statistic? The highest stars on Kama is 30. It's the lowest peak stars in the game for any god.
Where's he getting these numbers?
Cupid.
Wash.
Billy said Cupid.
Cupid.
Cupid might work well under the
Cupid
gremlin.
got his little remodel skin, and he looks dope again.
Hey, he looks like a normal guy.
I've seen a lot.
I don't
of
think it's that Freya was forgotten for a while, Noir.
Yeah,
I
but
think it's that people wanted to purge Freya
was
from
just
it.
out of meta.
If it weren't for Cupid's big old noggin,
You got it from Max? Yo, Max
who
gave
else
you
could have been an
these?
Invader
That's a
There you
Yeah,
Zim?
go.
Max.
Access
All right, so
him.
Max has the stat.
I guess it's Kama.
The least popular, most starred god
It's Kama.
is Kama.
I think Kama or Kumba is a solid throw here.
I love a little Kamazots though.
I'm gonna say Kumba.
But that's
Kamazotz was too good competitively.
That has to be
Kumba.
discounting like Newt, right? Like the most recent god. No way that.
Yeah, I guess you have to like put it in a ratio depending on like how long they've been out for.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, he posted about it a while back, so it probably doesn't include some of the newer stuff
300
there.
plus star Afros, the
That's
highest.
so
Kama's
many
the lowest.
stars.
man.
Holy.
That
You
is
have 10
That is
times.
300 too many stars on Afro.
All right, I'm gonna lock in Kumba for our middle one.
Yep. The Gremlin.
The Gremlin.
That's
I'm thinking.
Scylla.
I was thinking Bakasura.
I was thinking Danza.
Oh, we got 3 answers. Where are you kind of shooting on this one, Gore? Anytime I see a Baka, I just think of the player just in there going, "Here's my farm.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong.
Like I'm gonna steal your speed buff."
I just like Danza, and he's a little
Wait,
dude.
say everyone's again.
Danza, Scylla, Baka.
Bakasura.
Okay.
Scylla's literally just a little crazy child.
You're right, especially in the Godzilla skin. She's
I feel like
You got a Baka. His left.
also fair. Honestly, I'm getting more sold on the Baka, but I already said Danza.
yeah, if you change your answer, I'll lock in with somebody else so we're still in a tie.
I don't want
You can say Baka.
We don't
and I
want a
can say
tie. We
Scylla.
want to figure an answer.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know.
Lyle says Baka. Yua says Cupid.
I don't know what.
It
I
also
feel
does have a gremlin skin,
You-
was mentioned.
He got a goblin.
I said
skin.
It is a goblin.
I said Cupid a second ago, and that's just because like that guy. Just look at that guy.
All right, I'll give Baka.
Still his new thing. Look at that guy.
I'll go to Baka, but what does society even mean?
Yeah, that one I don't understand what they mean by society.
Is that like the Joker? Like is
Who's
that
the Joker of Smite?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who just wants corruption? Who just wants chaos? Is that the vibe?
Fenrir.
Because just straight up evil is next.
I guess it's Discordia. Is just she likes to.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Discordia is a really good shout for your Joker of Smite.
Yeah. She just wants chaos.
She doesn't like want to
Some
like cause
people just
harm.
wanna
She
watch
just
the
wants to
world
be
burn.
chaotic. like Eris from
Except say it
Billion
more
Baby.
like,
it literally is Eris. They're the
I
same
know.
character.
Oh my
I love
god.
that show.
All right,
I'm forgetting his name.
What about like canonically in our Smite?
Michael
shorts?
Caine.
You know, like is Cthulhu more evil than like Tiamat?
It's kind of hell. I think.
I think Cthulhu might be just the straight up evil
Yeah.
for me.
What like and
That's like his whole. That's like his whole thing,
Yeah,
isn't it?
straight up evil.
Tiamat has a ton of beef in our show in our like.
Tiamat's not evil though.
Tiamat
She's
only
just
has like our beef with the other Babylonians.
not very
misunderstood.
smart.
I think Tiamat just has beef with Gilgamesh.
Tiamat has beef with everybody.
Yeah, doesn't she fights a lot of people in those like.
Tiamat wants to remake the world in her image. So it's not. She doesn't want the world to like die. She just wants it to be her
Bots
world.
is evil, really? I mean,
Opwash is evil. That makes sense. I mean, he's literally like the ninth circle of hell's deity.
Posh isn't intimidating though. You know?
Anytime, look, we have a President Cthulhu
I'm not
skin,
I wouldn't go listen to him at a rally.
Which the meme around the President Cthulhu is why vote for a lesser evil.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why am I afraid of you?
Maybe it is Cthulhu.
All right, so I think we're going Disco for the Society, Cthulhu for straight up evil. The last one is no screen time, all the plot relevance.
All right, so we're gonna have to turn our eyes
that no
to
one
the
sees.
only story.
This is like your
Zeus. Actually, Zeus is pretty spot on.
Man.
Zeus is really good.
Oh,
for
Violet had a
that.
good shot to Denton.
I love Denton, buddy.
Denton is a really fun answer.
And admittedly, there was a lot early on, like with videos and stuff.
Honestly?
Denton got
It wasn't
stuff
a lot of
moving.
them.
Denton was the one. Well, I guess that's a lot of screen time.
What about-
There was the whole
He's the one who got
Shiva.
it
The
moving.
whole Shiva video was also a pretty big one.
Shiva is just a really big.
Shiva Olarun.
What about Marty?
Character.
Everyone remembered the Manticore, and then we actually brought him in, and then we remembered him. He's back.
And now we forgot about it. Should have used that one as what's your name again?
Actually, legitimately, because it's just like half the time, like for the first like 2 months, I could not
It's just
remember
Manticore.
I gotta be honest.
Marticorus.
I
I
am-
could remember Marty and the Manticore.
I am a Marty main right now in these day and age. When everyone's banning
take
Nuwa and Chang'e, I've been running
How far
Marty.
the mighty have fallen.
Man, how cringe
just
does
kidding.
Shirley have to be? I can't believe it.
I have actually never liked you guys. So.
Wow.
What's crazy is like you think it's a bit, but like he told me that like seriously.
Yep.
Unironically, I kind of just want to put Denton in that slot because I think it's funny.
I was like,
well, the
It is
community.
really funny, but tell me how Zeus is
No,
like
you were
the
right.
god, right?
Yeah.
He's like the guy that
guy.
people know, and we're like Bologna.
I think
Honestly.
Bologna and Thor
Zeus
stole
will
Zeus's
show up in
thunder.
promo
Yeah.
images, but never be played anywhere.
Yeah, I think it
He
is-
gets no screen time, but he is
Honestly.
the guy.
All right.
Like look at the case behind you, man. Zeus looks
That's
so
Zeus.
sick on that case. Why aren't people playing it?
Zeus also doesn't get a lot of
here.
screen time in like other movies that he is in. It's all what did Zeus cause, and
mean,
it's all
think
of the
about it.
everything around him.
Even
like,
in the Percy Jackson recent TV show, he only shows up at the end.
even in the movie Hercules,
Spoilers.
Zeus isn't super relevant. in
It's
that.
true to the book too. I don't think you see him for a lot.
All right.
Shake my
He's
head.
kind of. Hey, I'm gonna be real. Zeus, he's not a good dude.
No,
he's
no, he's
real, like lore wise. No matter where, he's not a good person.
What mythological beings are good people though?
Ganesh.
Are good.
Ganesh.
Okay, sure. I don't know. I'm just asking, like, because I feel like most of them just do messed
Yeah,
up
there's
stuff.
some.
but
Yeah, when you like,
because they're so above us, they're
you're-
like, it's not bad. I'm above
they
you.
view us like lesser pets.
Exactly. So it's like, is it really
Not even. That's not
How
even
many
like, good.
minions die on the battlefield every
yeah.
day?
For a moment, I was going to say Artemis, but I remember that she like legitimately
like-
turned somebody into an animal and then sent their hunting
They're a
pigs
bizarre
after 'em.
ant farm. That's what we are to the gods. It's like, we're
They're
just
like,
like,
hey, do stuff.
like if we and like that's how like when you walk. Oh hey, like you're getting close to Olympus, they just squish you like you're an ant that walked into the house.
I think it's a difference in Zeus's evil versus Cthulhu's evil, Plosh. Like, Zeus is a bad guy, but he's not, like, inherently evil. He just does bad stuff.
He's very self-indulgent.
Yes.
Yeah. He's very, like...
And like so he doesn't want to see the world end.
Yeah, he's not trying
Kind of
to...
like wants
but he
to
is
enslave the
pretty-
universe.
Yeah.
All right,
And like
I think
he
we
locked
finished-
the
I think-
Titans
yeah, I
into
think we got
Tartarus.
Zeus as our last one. So,
Yeah.
Locked the
so the
Titans into
normal
Tartarus.
person
You
we
gotta
locked
imagine
in,
that
we went
counts
with
for
Mulan for normal.
Yep.
What's your name? Kumba.
Yep.
Gremlin Baka.
Yep.
Society Discordia. Straight up evil Cthulhu. No screen time. All the plot relevant Zeus.
I like it.
We got it. We locked in. We'll see if Reddit aligns with us. Maybe we'll see the results of that next week on our Smite. Make sure you're tuning in next week. But we still got more to go today. That's at the end. What is this? The Mystical Tickler.
Nearby enemy.
Everybody needs to take damage over time as you magically tickle them to death.
Oh, it needs to make that
Health,
noise
prots,
exclusively.
crowd control reduction, aura. All enemies within 25 units are rudely, but mystically, tickled every second until they A, return to base, B, call mom, or C, uninstall.
How would that phone call go?
Change call mom
Mom,
to
I'm
say
being
uncle.
tickled.
Hey mom, it's me, your 27-year-old son. I know that you wanted me to get a job, but I'm just getting tickled. Like that's what I wanted to call you.
Nah, change it to say uncle.
This
like
is-
you're.
I don't want to talk about.
This is
Uncle
just
Strickland.
this is just a weird
that's
meme, but
like-
you know what? I appreciate it. This must have been on the
It's-
meme.
You like
one
lock
day.
someone in a
It's a choice.
headlock and you give them an
Oh,
Oh, they left the
Until they say
mematic.
uncle.
They left
Yeah,
the
and then you
mematic
let it go.
watermark in there. That's minus a point for you.
Not like
Still
call
give you the
uncle,
upvote.
but like say uncle.
Yeah.
Gotta crop
You have
your
to say
watermark.
uncle.
I thought you were saying call your uncle about you being tickled. I'm like, I don't
No,
wanna
no,
do
no.
that.
Leaving the main with mematic is like when people save stuff from
Jokes on
iPhone.
him. My
like
uncle's
that.
dead.
You have to like pay for Meme-matic to get that removed.
I don't know, just save the image and then go into Paint and drag it up to crop it out.
Wow, J-Max the kind of wait, hold on.
Go into paint.
Wait, I just saw last night. I was watching like anime edits, trying to go to sleep, and you know how people like watermark really good edits because they're like,
Unregistered
proud of them.
Hypercam 2.
The top comment was, "Wait, no watermark. This might be the best edit I've ever made," and the dude just stole it. And it was the top like.
Dude, the number of like old AMVs and whatnot you used to go back and watch, it just said like unregistered Hypercam 2 in the corner, something like that.
Well,
It was just Linkin Park. Just
you know,
going hard.
I now have to add though. Why did this need to be made with me? You could just like you only added
go to-
text.
Well, they added the black boxes to kind of block out the other part. But
Yeah.
yeah, you could have technically just made this in Paint or Photoshop. Or
I'm going to
GIMP.
critique you for your effort. Work harder
For
on your
shame.
memes next time.
Funny meme.
But you still get a like.
Look.
It was actually really good though. The tickler.
This one's talking a little bit about people wanting the game to be simplified a little bit more before release. I think we kind of touched a bit on this earlier, where the game is innately a little bit more complex than Smite 1 because we're trying new stuff, but we're still actively listening to feedback if something is too complex or something is too simple. I mean, we went from having a single relic and a ward to having 3 relics, a ward, aspects. Like, we've added a whole lot more to that. So there's a lot of complexity to the early stages, and one of the big models that Hi-Rez has always had with their games in stages like this is to just try a bunch of stuff and see what eventually sticks.
Yeah, not everything that's going on right now is going to stick, and there's a lot of mentions
Do you see what I see?
in
Sorry,
this
okay.
post in this post about like general jankiness and things like that, and those are things that we're working on every single day. Every single day we have more
Does
people
it exist?
posting
I don't know.
Is it real?
them
We're sorry.
in.
There's a Smite. There's an R Smite 2.
Oh,
You see this?
Oh,
Are we?
that's...
This is a Smite
I
2
don't
day. Are we on the wrong thing?
I don't think this is our official one. I think we...
Some dude just made it.
I think we collectively agreed to kind of just keep it all under the R Smite stuff for now. So
Hey, Mac, I need you to do me a favor. Nah, never mind. We can do that later.
I'm gonna say not on broadcast because you don't know how curated R Smite 2 is.
That's fair.
Like, I don't want to
now I'm
open up R Smite 2 and see
just
some
want-
stuff we shouldn't be seeing on a broadcast.
let's watch this clip though. I am interested to see.
Yeah, let's watch this.
The Invisible Aries.
A little Helm of Darkness play.
Boom.
Grab them, pull them back.
A yoink. A yoink.
Oh my lord!
My lord.
Y'all, that was a good play.
I got a little own there.
Yep. You gotta watch out for that Helm of Darkness.
True.
You can
One
see where
item.
the traffic is, though. The R Smite 2 post only has 12 of
12 upvotes, 5 versus, over 10 times as much over here and 4 times the comments. Pop them on both for now.
yeah,
but-
just put them on both. Why not?
Put them on both. Now, I'll take a look at R Smite 2 and see what's going on over there off screen. Next one, to no one's surprise,
it's done.
Cole was chosen as the hot
Oh,
one.
that was
Alright,
posted 3
cool.
hours ago.
Now,
No
who's the
one's
normal?
surprised.
Okay, so let's see what Reddit thinks is the only normal person.
I assume Achilles will be pretty high.
Minions.
Okay.
With more votes.
Damn, they're smarter than us.
Uller or Denton. All right, Denton's not a dude. Mulan works.
Mulan.
Mulan, okay, so there's Mulan. Minions.
The minions is really funny.
Small melee minions. Minions. Probably King Arthur, question mark?
Isn't he just a regular
He was
dude
a guy,
with a big
yeah,
sword?
but he was
Same
a
with-
king.
With Gilgamesh and Lancelot, maybe. No, Merlin's a wizard.
Merlin, yeah,
Who can
Merlin is
summon
magical.
the winds of Shamash? No, I can't do that.
Yeah, I wish I could.
King Arthur is just a dude who some lady in a lake said, "Here's a sword," though. Like that is.
But he's a king.
Okay,
also.
so considering that now that they're
but
throwing
only
minions-
because some lady in a lake gave him a sword.
Considering they're throwing minions in the mix now, I think that
Quote, Holy Grail.
Denton joke from earlier might actually land for the very last one.
Because
Maybe.
Denton was just the big minion. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Denton was one of the dudes, and now he's just in like everybody's like ending in or winning in defeat screens and whatnot. So
Dude, I remember we were working on the Ishtar one, and the animator approached me. She was like, "What if she was shooting an apple off of Denton's head?" And I was like, "Yes."
that is what I
Do it.
want.
there's an Uller, there's a Lancelot. Lancelot is also just a dude. He's just a dude who rides a horse.
He was lancing a whole lot, and they said, "What's your name?"
Including
The
King
Lancelot.
Arthur's wife, am I right?
I don't know the lore, but I'll high five to that.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
he- not a good guy.
And yeah, it looks like minions are going to be winning the poll this time around.
That is
so.
really funny.
Good-
I appreciate
honestly,
that.
look, after what we expected for them to call the Hot One Soul, it only makes sense that they would then vote for the minions.
Yep.
That's a good shout for the Reddit there.
Good work.
We go for literal on this one.
Smite 2's main goal is new players. Seems like a lot of people don't realize Smite 2 is not entirely aimed at retaining Smite 1 players. The success of Smite 2 is dependent on getting a large amount of new players. Those of you who are stubborn and just want Smite 1 better graphics and not target art in Smite 2 needs to be more complex, interesting, and competitive. It needs to be a different game than 1. We're just going to have to deal with that if we succeed. Edit keywords, not entirely. This response to this really shows how sensitive small group community. I think there is a fair mix of both, to where we do want the existing Smite 1 crowd to come to Smite 2. That's part of the cross-gen progression that we have with the Divine Legacy, is to get people who are playing Smite 1 to also come over and play the game in Smite 2. But there is also that niche. We do want to bring new people to Smite 2 as well. So it's a fair mix of both that I would say right now is winning over the current audience to say, hey, here's what you've been playing for 10 years, but better.
Yeah. I think it's also fair to say that what does new actually mean? Because so many people have tried Smite at the very least. We also want to try to get those people that have tried Smite and they were like, oh, well, there's a new Smite? Maybe I try it again. They didn't stick with it the first time. They might stick with it now.
So yeah, I think it's a good mix for new or returning players to come back, current audience as well. There's a strong mix, and I think it's a bit disingenuous to say we're not trying to get the existing audience over. We only want new. We do want new players, but we also want our current players to also make that jump.
Smite 2's main goal is to be a successful, fun game that people enjoy.
Yeah.
True.
That's what I would say.
Well, we're back to our GOAT Blues Ultra.
Hopefully that means everybody likes it.
Yes, bonus balance.
Bonus update. We'll take a look at what came in the bonus update, because I got to refresh myself, in all honesty. Kins and Soul Reaver.
Sometimes I let myself just get surprised nowadays. It's really nice. Like when there's not a broadcast I need to know it for, I'll just be like, why is everybody building this now?
So Kins and Soul Reaver bumped up in buffs, at the very least, means it's easier to get the better procs because everybody's HP went down. So
this was just literally a revert from when we changed it originally to go higher.
Yep. Archdruid, Shield of Thorns, and Shifters all getting nerfs. We've been seeing...
Oh, hold up.
God, the number of, like, inbound streams where I tuned in and he's just running, like...
He's got a lot of prod shred.
He's running, like, Archdruid plus...
That's what I like.
What's the other one?
He was killing
Cannoneers.
people because they had no prods.
Yeah, that's what I liked.
You got some more cooldown. You can do it more often now.
Okay, I'll take it.
That's why it's a shift.
Baba Yaga, Fernanos,
I had to address my concerns.
The shift
I had a direct line.
He gets his two cooldown reduced, but the prot shred from it also reduced.
Yes.
So it's a combo of a buff and a nerf. So
That's why it's a shift.
a shift.
Yeah.
I'd prefer the word burf, but that's okay.
I hate that.
I don't like that.
Some fixes to bugs that were popping in with different items and whatnot, and then obviously some of the item changes, the more detailed descriptions of them, just because.
Yeah, we sure did gaff about those.
Like, this is what I love about Blues, is like I can look at this and with literally 2 words per, I can tell exactly what changes are being made, and I don't need to necessarily know the immediate specific. I can just go, oh, prot shred, so his 2 isn't going to be as valuable, but he gets better cooldown for it, so easy peasy there. So that's the nice and easy parsable stuff for the long-time players, but for those who need the extra information and details, this is where Blues also shines in giving you the exact numbers and details.
Yeah, I'm the epitome of the I want to see the first one.
Yep.
And if you sent me the second one, I'm hitting you with the I ain't reading all that.
We're sorry that happened.
Sorry it happened.
We're happy for you.
We're happy for you.
Yeah, so shout out Blues Ultra. Again, I'll say it every single time. Follow them on all their social media. They put out fantastic work. And they've also made stuff for Smite 2 as well for some of the graphics, so check out all their stuff.
Ow, ow.
This is one that I saw before. So I feel like this was made by somebody who's a bit newer to the game. Because they say, so we're getting the Smite Summoner spell from League of Legends. Will this be a game changer for jungle?
Bro doesn't know what Hog is.
This was just Hand of the Gods in OG Smite times up until, what was it, season...
Except here's the thing. This is an
5
arc.
or 6?
That was a circle.
Sure.
And this can hit gods and do damage and not stun them.
Yeah, it's a combo of Hog and Fist of the Gods.
So realistically, we need to give it a stun. That's what I'm hearing here.
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't know about that. I don't know about that one, Mr.
That's a
Miser.
big area for a stun.
I miss training wheels, I will say.
Training Wheels
is
tier,
really funny.
Training Wheels Kukulkan was very funny to do too.
I did raw. Oh.
You can do a Sprout in Smite 1.
And I be spruiting. Trust me on that, Lerman.
I think from what we saw during the competitive scene, the tournament on the weekend for this alpha, was we saw a lot of supports going this item, just because it gave you kind of the OG nostalgia feel of like years 1, 2, and 3 of Smite, where like Hog secure supports. Like, you talk about some legendary names there, like. When I think of that era, like Jeff Hindla was one of the best supports of that time because he was the best player on the map to secure an objective. There was hardly anybody who could stand up to what Hindla was able to do. When that got removed, you started to see maybe the actual like further skill gap that kind of divided him from maybe some of the other supports at that time.
Look, I got one of my Smite core memories. I can't remember who they were playing. Launch tournament, TSM. Trixtank was rocking the 2014 Guan Yu skin.
Good skin.
As a support, right? He was playing Guan support. He
missed that.
Goes in, dashes in his Guan. Hog steals the FG before anybody on the other team can get it. Hops on his horse, just runs out.
So fun.
And it was just like this. They were not winning those fights.
Moments of all time.
That moment like turned the game around for him.
Who do he do that?
Why was no one zoning?
My favorite thing to do.
They won that tournament. Game Hunter got a Penta that tournament. It was the first competitive Penta. It was awesome.
One of my favorite things to do at that time was playing Kumbhakarna, and I would just single out their support at like 1500 HP on the objective. I would just mez them and then epic uppercut, hog, walk out. And goodbye, you. That's my objective. But yeah, Southern Guard pretty good.
Good.
Yeah, if you're playing support in Smite 2,
these kids don't get it nowadays.
Go for it. If you're playing jungle, maybe you also go for it. Look, man, I'm just saying invades are pretty good in Smite 2.
Smite is truly cyclical sometimes. We see things that disappear, come back.
Around and around.
Time is just a circle.
I'm looking at you, Hasten Fatalis.
All right.
Boat!
We got the boat, man.
Your team does not receive gold for towers destroyed by the beacon.
That is a bug.
Is that?
It's a bug, yes.
I thought when the beacon did it, you never got it.
No, you're supposed to get gold for it. It's a bug.
That's it.
Well, learn me. You know exactly what you can do whenever.
I'm not here right now. I don't exist. I'm just a figment of your imagination.
Hey, I'm gonna keep it honest with you. I didn't know that existed, and I've definitely talked about them getting gold from towers off of stuff like that in casts.
That's good. They're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're right.
You know what you're supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Known issue.
Yep.
Fixed. TBD. Smite 2 is in a right path.
Yay!
This person who plays many MOBA games, League, Dota 2, Smite, HOS.
Here's the storm.
Here's the storm.
Oh, they
There
just
should be
didn't
a
include
T.
the T.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm used to saying hot. So I was like,
we
hero
prefer-
of Storm.
Hero of Storm!
That's Gilgamesh, the hero of Storm, Winds of Shamash. I'd say I love what Hard is doing with Smite 2. Game looks very nice, which for me is the most important thing to move from Smite 1 and 2. And the game is just on the alpha stage. Item changes is a W.
Hidden.
Don't know why people complain about this. It keeps helps creating more playstyle, more interesting builds. Gods can be played in different lanes. Pace of the game feels decent. Reminds me of Smite 1 Season 1 so much. Surely game still needs a lot of work, but so far I've seen nothing wrong with the current state of Smite 2.
And you know what I heard? I heard, hey, this game's an alpha, but I'm having a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
And I think that's
You just said that in a lot of words. I appreciate the more words. But that's what I got out of that.
Yeah.
Of course, in the future, say that with less words.
I ain't reading all that.
Here, Gore. Gore starts and ends at sentence 2. I have to say, I love what Hyra's doing with Smite 2.
Dope.
Boom.
Like
Nailed it, man.
Bam.
All in one. That's crazy.
All right, what's our next one?
For a guy who talks so much, I really don't like
Curses.
reading.
I thought
This was literally Gore.
Yeah, this is Gore wishing he could one-shot people with Horus.
Yeah, so this is just the Horus shift where more cooldown is shortened, but prot shred is also reduced.
Oh, that prot shred, it's not
as bad.
not nearly as bad as it.
Yeah, it's just 5 at all.
I saw prot shred
when you get
in red text, and it made it seem like it was like getting virtually removed, and I got real. It was hitting my
a little bit.
Yeah, there's an inherent problem when you can shred half of their prots at level 1 essentially with that ability. So
it was
pretty much means that my level 2 is going to be a little weaker, but that's okay because if I was running you down at level 2 in Horus, you were getting the hands anyway.
As a Horus fan, I'm also sad by this change.
I'm not.
This one's talking about design direction, which I think we've probably covered a lot of stuff.
We have read a lot of Smite 2 paragraphs.
We've gone through a lot of Smite 2 paragraphs. Probably just read a lot of what we mentioned above with changes and whatnot, and there's probably going to be plenty more blog posts to come out as well. What ADC... let's give him a boat. What ADC plays most similar to a mage ability base? What hunter
Medusa.
plays as a mage?
Uller.
Yeah, Neath, Medusa.
Medusa,
Ooh.
Uller,
Chiron.
Chiron, Martikaros.
Martin.
There you go. Next.
There you go.
I love that this is this.
State of Cyclopean Ring and finding its home, Bruiser
The
Guardian.
answer is Jormungandr. Thank you.
I just love that. Oh my goodness! There's
They
so
gave a
many
whole
more.
break.
Bruh,
Just
y'all,
now?
hey,
What's
I
happening
appreciate how, but y'all gotta. Where's the TLDR here?
I'm about to play some Sylvanas Cyclopean Ring.
If you
Aye, aye,
if
aye.
you know that yours is long enough that you're adding a thanks for reading at the bottom, then you also gotta give me something else.
Yeah, if you're including a thanks for reading or a TLDR, like you spend a lot of time. But
I do appreciate it. I want to read this, but not out loud and not right now.
I appreciate the work you have put in. If you're basically saying Guardians build this because it's good for you, then I'm all about it.
I skimmed. Basically, it's if you're building one damage item, Cyclopean could be a good one to try, especially on Atlas. That was
Really,
the
what
vibe.
I'm getting at is I'm kind of lazy right now.
Oh yeah.
Once the cameras come on, my reading comprehension go down.
I saw this one before. I guess I have another chance to get this skin. Just hoping for years they bring it back to grind for a new way to earn it. New game coming. Guess it's not happening. The old
This is
ranked
a
Rage
goated
Bakasura.
Bakasura skin.
This is what season
one.
was? This one? I thought this was like
one.
2 or 3.
Nope, this is one.
Man, that skin's been
I didn't get the
a
skin.
long time.
I didn't play ranked in season 1.
I played ranked in season 1, but I was like a silverhead in season 1 because I was bad at the game. Then.
All I wanted to get was.
I'm also bad at it now, but that's a different story.
when he had blade hands. That's the only skin I wanted.
Oh,
from Baka.
the old Baka?
Yeah, he had blade hands.
I can't play that model.
Well, that's the only one I was trying to get.
all those versions are banned and competitive because of I think it's his hitbox is slightly different with it.
I don't think his hitbox is different. I'll say that.
I just liked him having blade hands, man. I didn't care about the rest.
So I'm
Two is Uller,
hearing that
three
you
is
play
Shin
Feaster
Chen.
Bunny all the time then.
I didn't get Feaster Bunny back then. I'm talking like the early days of Smite. I wanted to, my goal was to be free to play for as long as possible and get one cool skin on everyone. And I soon realized that the skins were getting cooler and my bank account needed to match that. So
Your bank account was not getting cooler.
I have a habit when there's a certain threshold where I realize I've played a game for so much and like where I'm like, I need to give some money. Like I've enjoyed this way too much for me to not
Yep.
give
Hey,
you
if you're
something.
in that
was,
spot, feel free.
Yep.
That's my mentality on
And that's
some.
how I bought stuff.
Yep.
That's my mentality on some like free to play games where they have things like, for example, there was another MOBA style game. I think it's Battle Right, where I was sitting there. I was like, man, I'm really enjoying this game. I think this is really cool. What is my point where I say I have played enough and it's time to support? And for me, it was once I hit 30 hours. It's $30 to get all their characters. I think $1 an hour is a worthwhile investment to kind of start
Yeah.
things.
Bro.
And that was kind of my hit. For Smite, it was
If I played Smite for the first time like now and I had fun, I think I'd buy the God Pack instantly.
Oh, yeah.
because I'd get
No, 100%.
it'd be so free. I bought it when there was
There's
like
so much
23
value.
gods in the game.
Yeah.
It was so much worth it. Was so
I got
worthwhile
the
then.
God Pack when Hu Yi came out because I was like, I want to play Hu Yi right now.
that's fair.
I need this.
I
I need Hu Yi.
I think
Was that his like flying?
Yeah, he
jump?
has a weird jump.
I think I bought mine shortly after Scylla because I enjoyed Scylla. I saw Scylla's like trailer or like release like tease and whatnot. I'm like, that character looks cool, and so I grind on my main account to get enough favor to buy Scylla, and then I grind on my second account to get enough favor to play Scylla. And so I was playing Scylla on
Yay.
both at that time,
Good choice.
and then I just realized, man, what if I just buy the pack so I don't have to keep doing this every time a new cool god is released?
When-
Spoilers, there was like 3 or 4 in a row that kind of happened. I'm like, I'm just gonna spend the money because it's on sale now. I think I bought it at launch tournament because of that time.
I bought mine when ESET came out.
I started playing when Giannis came out, so that was both before I even started playing.
I've been playing this game a long time.
I think.
know what?
I
End the segment. Just
if
by
you look
saying-
at my account,
bonus
there's a lot of deserters. Like there's like 10 or 15 deserters, and
the
every
heck?
single one of them are because I was playing on like a really old Mac laptop that crashed every time. And I would like after
Oh, Mac.
20 minutes, it would crash. I'd try to load in, but they'd finish the game before I could load back into it. So I was like, oh no.
I used to get
shame.
reported all the time for speed hacking because my computer was so bad I would just rubber band everywhere, and I was like, I'm sorry guys, like they can't hit me, but I can't hit them. I'm so behind. But I just kept queuing up. I was like, maybe next game will be better, and then
Maybe
eventually
next game.
I had to get a new computer, and that fixed everything.
I
Sure did.
when I bought like my first like actual PC tower, like half the reason was because I wanted to play Smite on something better than a laptop.
Yeah, I was playing on the laptop for the longest time, and when I was moving from my dorm to my apartment, I lost my mouse, and so for the first like week, in that transition phase, I was playing on like the trackpad for my mouse. It was not great. We'll end the segment here by saying the bonus update is out if you didn't already know. So go play it. Check out the notes for it. We just looked at it earlier from Blues Ultra. And as always, thank you so much for watching This Week in Our Smite. If you want to get featured on This Week in Our Smite, go to reddit.com/r/smite and post stuff and get a lot of upvotes. And who knows, you might just be featured in the next episode, which will be sometime next week on another Casual
Friday.
Friday.
Those fun meme formats. That was really fun.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see the conclusion of that by the time, because it was going.
Just make memes for me.
Yeah.
Make memes. No, like specifically you at home. Make a meme that I would happy be.
That one was 3 hours. That one was a day. That one was 22. Okay, they're going like 2 a day almost. We should have the results for next week on that one.
That'll be nice.
Make sure to go and vote on the every game has one ones, because we want to see what your answers are there. But that's it for This Week in Our Smite. Make sure that you stick around, because we got more great action coming up after here on Casual Friday.